clash of the woke. The clash of the woke versus the non-woke. And the truth of the matter is that there is an in-between and a nuance. Because if you are fed up with the way that we have all gone mad, nobody can have a decent conversation anymore, and everyone's gone full nutty off the deep end, this does actually concern you. You know me, like I try not to get into the politics of this because I am not a political expert. And to be honest with you, I don't want to be tied to either side, right? But this is innately political, and I'm going to explain why. I'm going to be upfront. I think both sides are corrupt. I think both sides argue with the other, dig their heels in even more, right? And don't get anything done. Sarah Silverman said an amazing thing about this yesterday. I posted it to my story because she is a liberal who we know, like the liberal, the far, far, far side of the liberals is the woke mob, right? Just like the right has their far extreme side. But she basically says, I don't like what my party is becoming because it is, it's not progressive. Everything is so extreme. It's so elitist. And we're not a country of ideas anymore. So she's even shitting herself, being like, whoa, with the culture war, right? But this is why it's important. Because although both sides have their issues, get their panties in a wad, are all crazy, I do feel like the woke, if you want to call it, the left, if you want to call it, often drives the mainstream narrative and gets a pass. They do. They get a pass. And the perfect example of that is Gina Carano getting fired from The Mandalorian for saying something essentially that her co-star Pedro Pascal said, and he is still fully employed and collecting those benefits, and she got the axe. That's a perfect example right there of what I mean about how there's a pass on that side and there is a double standard. And often people will say, who think that the cancel culture is ridiculous in the sense of it's ridiculous that people have such a reaction to it. They think that it's not really cancel culture. They think that people have consequences, and they think that it can't just be the wild west of free speech, right? They think, you have to on some point regulate. People can't just be out here guns blazing, saying and doing whatever they want to say. There has to be some sort of regulation. And my problem with that is, look what happens when we start regulating. Look what happens when we don't really let everybody have a say. When we start regulating and saying this is accepted, no, this is not accepted. It's going to constantly now be the clash of these culture wars. Now everything is going to be in the camp of this is okay and that's not, right? The people regulating, so to speak, and the people uprising against the regulating. That's what everything is going to boil down to. And that's what I don't like about it. And that's why I always support a free exchange of ideas and thoughts, even really, honestly, even really nasty, gross ones, because we need to know that they're out there. We need to defend the speech that we hate so that we're protected too. And we just be louder. So that is what I'm all about. Because how long are we going to live in this, like I say, Sybil, dual reality, a tale of two worlds? There can be gray. There can be an in-between to things. So as you go about your weekend, get your crown, put it on your little head, and think about that. Think about that. Are you able to see in the gray? Mr. Gray will see you now. We could only hope.